This is our 1950s abandoned gymnasium that we bought last year from Dirt Perfect that we've jokingly and lovingly been calling our world headquarters. And we put a ton of work into this thing. This thing was on the verge of collapse. We built some temporary posts and beams on the inside of this thing to get it held up while we could then go down and do some foundation work. We poured these little buttresses on the backside because that CMU wall that you see in the background, that CMU wall was failing and needed a little bit of reinforcement. After we got that reinforcement done, we demolished this wall in the middle and put a temporary beam in here that allowed us to get more work access during the next steps of this project, which will eventually be ripping out that entire CMU wall and replacing it with the poured concrete wall. We hauled a triaxle worth of trash out of this thing left over from previous owners, and on the most recent episode of this, we rented Dirt Perfect's John Deere 120 excavator and installed 40 tons of riprap thanks to a partnership with Brunt Workwear. And today we are continuing that partnership. We have $950 left from that. Let's see what we can get done with it. Got my little camera fanny pack, all my extra batteries, water bottle. I'm gonna see, here's a flaw with the plan. Let's see if we got the coolant stick in here still. Oh yeah. Yep, there it is. I can't see anything. They got their crushers on the far end of that, and they got all their screening system there, and then they'll run trucks under those hoppers, and they'll take the big haul trucks around to the different spots into the piles. We're looking for 73s. I think we're in the right spot. That sign says 53s, but I think that pile is 53s and this is 73s. Before we dump the load of stone in here, we got a pretty decent mess from when we came down and did the riprap and a little tree pruning with the old 120. We'll take the little 304 Dirt Perfect, drop this back off for us, and we can start getting this thing cleaned up just a little bit with the blade.
gonna move this, and then we're gonna bust that pile of stone out. Then we're gonna take this high ridge out and truck that material out, maybe some of that, I don't know, there's a lot. And we gotta pick up a piece of equipment I've never hauled or ran. We're gonna use one of Dirt Perfect's rubber tire rollers he has. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a hoot. Switch buckets for starters here. Pin just releases that. That reaches around and grabs onto the pin of the bucket. We're just going to take the bucket and broadcast it around, and then we'll bust it out with the blade. Definitely starting to shape up nice. The next step, we've got to dig this out over here, and I'll show you why we had to wait. Now, a lot of people are worried about the trees and the fact we're not getting between these things. Remember, that CMU wall eventually gets ripped out completely and replaced with an ICF wall. And whenever we do that, that's when we'll start getting up in there and get that all cleaned out. No point of pushing stone up against that wall when we got to dig out and do a footer anyway. So we had to wait on this section because I had to wait for 811 to mark things. 811 is the utility locating service. You just dial it, you give them the information. They want to know the nearest intersection, which is up there. They wanted to know the nearest incorporated town, even if, like in our case, it's 20 miles away, they still want to know it. And then they will notify the utility companies. The utility companies have 2 or 3 working days to come and get it marked. We marked everything in white paint. They prefer that. That way they know where they're supposed to be locating. You can see we got the okay from the water company. And then we got a message from the local power co-op that there's no electric concern here because it's overhead, but that also means there's none buried. And the fiber optic is overhead here as well. So we got the clearance from them to go ahead and dig this up. We'll scrape whatever stone is on top, which isn't a lot, kind of back a little bit. We'll get down to the dirt where we need to be, then we can dig the dirt out, and then we'll back up and we'll just roll those 73s on top of it. That's the idea anyway. I am loving the way it's shaping up though. You know what else I'm loving? These boots, huh? Yes, these are the Marins. They were sent to us by Brunt. They are some fantastic work boots. I've got these that I wear for like work boots. They got a cop toe in them, they're leather. I've worn pretty much every major work boot manufacturer over the years that I was doing construction and the stuff that I do now on the homestead, and they've all held up great, never had issues. My number one complaint has always been comfort. These Marins, I don't know how to explain it, but they're some of the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. Not only are they insanely comfortable, they're pretty daggone affordable. I got this boot for more like my construction work style boot when we're doing stuff like this, demolition, running equipment, working out and this kind of thing. But because I don't always do this exact type of work, I'm also doing work out in the woods sometimes. I just ordered, because of how much I love these rigs here, sorry for the paleness, listen, I don't know how to pronounce these, so I'm just gonna have to show you a picture. This is kind of like their outdoors, in the woods, lightweight boot. That'll be perfect, so I'm excited to try that as well. You guys can check that out in some future videos to see how I feel about it, but I'm pretty confident I'm gonna love them. If you wanna check them out, then do it. It's great. I'll put a link in the description. You can check on it. There's a coupon code. It'll take you to where you want to go. They have tons of other stuff, by the way. And if you don't want to check it out, also, that's great too. If you have Brunt now, leave in the comments how you feel about them. The previous video, people lit it up. They said they loved them. So that's very encouraging to me. I lost my magnetic mount, so I'm literally just thigh hugging the tripod, and I'm doing it for you. This part here isn't too crazy high, but the part down there on that lower corner is. I think you can probably pick that up on the camera. So this won't take quite as much in this particular section. We're gonna park it here and hope the parking chambers actually work. Wheels cram that way in the event that they don't. And hopefully going to the bank instead of off the ramp behind me. I got some of it in the truck anyway. That was fun and awkward, huh? Enjoyed that. We're just going to pull this stuff in, taper the road entrance into it, and then roll that stuff in like we talked about. I need some more of this material to go out, and I got about a half load on the triaxle right now, so we'll just top the truck off the rest of the way with what we have. No sense of hauling off just a half load.
Hey guys.
I'm pretty obsessed at this point to get the rest of this pile out. That's close enough to a full load. We got to come back for it anyway, so let's go get rid of this and we'll come back and get the rest cleaned up. So we're up at the house. There's the pond, looking wonderful as ever. We got a project, a dirt work project coming up there in the future, and I need to open up this bank more. That tree will probably unfortunately end up coming out in that process. Since we're gonna have 2 loads of dirt that packs somewhat decent, and this is closer than Dirt Perfect's farm, we're just gonna right there. Oh man. Not that I'm giving tips, but if you're in the woods or you're backing down a trail not made for this fella here, overheads like limbs is a big one, especially if they're big limbs. You get them caught on the bed, tarp roller, things like that. I mean, we know, right? And you know, this thing here, that could be a bad day as well. But we'll see if we can get the second load stacked right in front of it. We haven't dug down this section yet because I plan on using the dirt that comes out of here to fill this stump hole whenever this fella here comes out. Tell you what, that's a pretty good looking lot. Look, I have room for my own triaxle if I wanted, huh? All kinds of room for activities down here. Let's go get this truck empty. We'll go get the 2500. Let's go get a roller. Excellent news. The magnetic mount just came in when I went to the house to get to the truck. So that's good. That's great. That's not gonna work. Should work a little better for it. So we're taking this rig here. Never ran it, never operated it, don't know anything about it. Mike said it works pretty good. He said he hauls it with his pickup truck, which has the same setup minus bed and wheelbase. I don't know, let's start here. Yep. Okay. Step one. Do we think there's a master or something? How does this even out? Let's just take this for a spin first, you know? And make sure that, how do you get in it? You just climb? You just climb. It's like some kind of transport lock. Definitely won't be using that. It's a good looking rig. You just climb, I guess. What do you think's in here? Oh, neat. Oh. No, there's a 0% chance this goes well. What do you think that does? Just the brake, I guess? Some kind of clutch action? He said there's 3 slots, put it in the middle slot. Oh, what's this? Why are there multiple keys? Here's the master, probably. Okay. I don't know what that's for. Okay. Alright. Oh, I see. Well, one of these is probably forward and one's probably reverse. Throttle is down. Further down, the faster we're gonna go. Surely this is a brake. If it's not, we'll just drive in circles until we figure it out, I suppose. I wonder if that does. Let's see. Well, turn that off. Hey, nice. Oh gosh. Oh, we're doing something. Let's see. Brake? Well, kind of a brake. Oh, what a hoot! Magnetic mount problem. Yep, didn't see that. Okay, let's see what happens here. So we learned something wild. What a trip, huh? We learned something wild, that the foot brake is in fact directional. It only works one way. Yep. Headache rack's still strong though, so that's good. Oh, how's the weight look? Oh, let's back her up just a touch. We're pretty close though. Near disaster always brings a smile. You know it? Oh, what a hoot. What a hoot. Little test run before the main road there. Believe it or not, that's lighter than 304. At least it feels like it. It feels a lot lighter than the 304. Apparently only the front tires do the driving, because when those came off, they just stopped, those kept spinning, and they pushed the truck. So I guess it's only front wheel drive. Got a little bit of blow by, that's okay. I'm gonna move this out of the way. If I've learned anything in the last 10 minutes, it's that I have no idea what I'm doing. Mike was driving by. I said, get this thing on the trailer for me. I about killed myself the first time. All right, we got chains on. Make sure that's on. And we'll go ahead and get out of here and get that taken back to his place. And then we'll get 3 or 4 moved. He was driving by checking on progress. It is close to the end of the day. May not seem like much, but the fact that we can get a truck and trailer in here now, that's pretty cool. Got chains unhooked, that's for sure, and the rear end did come apart, so we got that going for us. I cannot get over how good this looks. I mean, a parking area now, how fancy. Not only this parking area, but we've got partnerships secured for that tree removal and the rest to finish this off, which means we have everything we need funding wise to finish the parking area and grade work on the outside of this, which is awesome because that has to be done before we do the wall, which means once that's finished, we're on to lifting that up and getting this wall replaced. So that's going to be pretty awesome because once the wall's replaced, then we start with the fun stuff on the inside again. There's a bunch of ducks. I'm not sure the story here. I'm not mad about it though. Thanks again to Brunt for sponsoring this part of the project. They paid for 20 tons of 73s, 40 tons of riprap, equipment rental for the John Deere 120, equipment rental for the trucking, the 304, and the roller. And we were able to do all the work in comfort. I'm impressed with that flexibility. I don't know the next video, either working on the pool. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now, some unexpected maintenance. Whatever breaks next, that's what we'll film. I hope I get to see you guys there.